Hello and welcome to the 2021 Latina Journalist Awards, an online conference presented by CCNMA, Latino Journalists of California. I'm Lori Ochoa, president of CCNMA and arts and entertainment editor of the Los Angeles Times, overseeing Sunday calendar. If you've been with us all morning, you've heard two incredible sessions so far. One on reporter safety online and in the field with LA Times opinion columnist and author Jean Guerrero, and Cassandra Gutierrez and Daisy Caballero of KRCR, the ABC affiliate in Redding. This fascinating conversation was followed by an interview with Diana Fuentes, the first Latina executive director of the essential journalism organization IRE, or Investigative Reporters and Editors. If you're just joining us, you can watch those sessions on our CCNMA YouTube channel. And after this session, we'll have a discussion at 1 p.m. about mental health, coping with the stresses of COVID while gathering stories, and with the pressures of trying to find your place in news organizations facing racial and gender reckonings. But first, we have some awards to announce. This is CCNMA's second virtual awards ceremony because of COVID, where we honor the year's 10 most influential Latina journalists in California, the Emerging Latina Journalist of the Year, and the Latina Journalist of the Year. Each was nominated by our wider membership. I'd also like to mention that even though we have a long way to go before Latinas are truly represented in the gatekeeper jobs of American journalism, we have made some progress this year, as the hiring of Diana Fuentes at IRE showed. Also, at the LA Times this summer, Mariel Garza was named Deputy Editorial Page Director and became the first Latina on the masthead of the paper. It's also been fantastic to see the impact that the hiring of Ileana Limon Romero has had at the LA Times as Deputy Sports Editor. It's wonderful to see, and we want to see more. One other thing before our awards. 2022 is CCNMA's 50th anniversary year, and we've got a GoFundMe in progress to raise money to preserve CCNMA's archives. We've got some incredible photos, art, and documents that tell an important story about Latino journalism. I'd also like to acknowledge our executive director, Makala Medina of NBC Los Angeles, who is out on leave but helped orchestrate today's event, as well as our CCNMA board members who helped sustain the oldest Latino Journalism Association in the country. These board members are Vice President Justina Aguila, who you saw in our last panel with Diana Fuentes, Secretary Cassandra Gutierrez, who moderated our first panel on reporter safety, Acting Financial Officer Joe Rodriguez, and our board members, Yvette Cabrera, Robert Lopez, Daniel Hernandez, Rachel Aranga, Luz Villarreal, who has been invaluable today with technical assistance in these panels, and Jacqueline Garcia, reporter from La Opinión and chairperson of today's event. Jackie put together today's panels and is joining me in announcing today's awards. Thank you all, and welcome, Jackie.
Thank you so much. What a great event we have had so far this morning. We want to mention CCNMA has for nearly 5 decades celebrated the work of Latina journalists, but today we're here to celebrate the 10 most influential Latina journalists in California in 2021. Our board selected a diverse crop that ranges from meteorologists to cable correspondents. These journalists have also grown an influential base of followers, developed influential stories, and have built a solid career in journalism. Our first two recipients couldn't make it today, but we'll hear from them in a video. They are two leading Latinas in news management. The first one is Celia Chavez, the only Latina general manager of a television station in California. Celia leads a team through the turbulent waters of the pandemic, coupled with the strong political and racial divide as the country faced. She leads with steady hand and delivering impressive results in both ratings and in employee morale and productivity.
Next is Rebecca Nieto, a project news manager at KPCC LAist. Rebecca led an ambitious editorial plan with focus on improved storytelling, story selection, breaking news execution, and workflows. She elevated content sharing between broadcast and digital producers. Here they are in their own words.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Latino Journalists of California, for this recognition, which I share with my Telemundo 52 family. It's through their tireless commitment to our community that we make a difference in the lives of our viewers. As the station president, I have the great privilege and responsibility to lead the talented team at Telemundo 52 Los Angeles in the #1 U.S. Hispanic market. As a local news organization, our responsibility is rooted in the commitment to ensure our storytelling and reporting authentically reflects the voices and contributions of the Latino community. We have a unique relationship with our viewer, often serving as a lifeline to help them navigate through challenging times. And during this unprecedented time, it became clearer that our role as communicators is critically important in providing balanced, relevant, and timely in-language information. We are proud of the work that we do and look forward to continuing to serve our community. Muchas gracias por este honor, and congratulations to my fellow honorees.
Hi there, everyone. I'm sorry I can't join you today, but I'm traveling back to California right now. I want to say to all those who attended today's seminar, good for you for investing in yourself and each other. Opportunities to network and learn, so vital. And honestly, I wish I'd had more of that when I started my career more than 30 years ago. So CCNMA, thank you for creating these moments. And to the board, thank you for including me in this year's list of most influential Latina journalists in California. I'm deeply honored to be among a wonderful group of women. And to my fellow honorees, felicidades. I also want to thank KPCC in Elias, where I work as a news manager. To my colleagues, thank you. Honors like this don't happen without our collective work. Finally, I want to dedicate this honor in the memory of my mother, father, and brother. They passed away from COVID over the past year. I know if my dad was here, he would say, I'm busting my buttons with pride. And mom, in true Mexican mom fashion, would say, make sure they pay you right. A life lesson. Anyhow, thank you, Mom and Dad, for your love and support in sending my brother and I through college. And thank you, CCNMA.
Our next recipient is America Arias. America has a long history with CCNMA. She was one of our board members, interviewed America years ago for the OC Register when she was a high school teenager. That's when she wanted to go to college, but she was missing a lot of school because she wanted to help her parents work cleaning homes in order to help put food on the table. People read her story and donated to her cause to go to college. CCNMA also supported her with scholarships, mentors, and helped her launch her career. She's worked for several TV news stations, including KCET and KABC in Los Angeles, and she now works as a producer and assignment desk editor for CNN. She also hosts the podcast America's Dreamers, which always has fascinating guests. Her most recent episode was with the Latina founder of the first gym dedicated to LGBTQ members called Queer Gym. And I should also mention that America has won 2 Emmys. Not bad. Congratulations, America.
Thank you. Thank you. I share this with all of you. It was a huge honor, big surprise. But I've always been thankful to CCNMA from the beginning, as you mentioned. We go back, way back. So I just want to thank all my mentors who are still, supporting me even now. Justino, Luz, Yvette, you know who you are. Thank you to all the mujeres who are here with me as well. I just wanted to say that without CCNMA, I wouldn't be where I am today. So it's amazing that I still have their support. Okay, I have a minute. So I was telling myself, this is like a TikTok, so get through it in 1 minute. So I would just want to say that this pandemic, I'm sure you guys can relate, has really taught me about my why. Like, why am I really doing this? Why am I still in this industry? And it was a reminder that we're here to make an impact, right? To inform the public, to make sure that they know what they need to know, and that they know accurate information. And for me, it was a reminder that our Latino community needs us a lot as well. And so for me, that was my why. I'm here because I'm here to inform our community. And then also, it taught me that I have to own my story. I think a lot of times as we're telling stories, we neglect the fact that we are also the story. And as a DACA recipient, I've sort of been a walking headline. My life could literally become the next headline, depending on what the Supreme Court would say, depending on, the next executive action by the president. So just owning it. Before, I really felt like I can't disclose it. I shouldn't talk about it because people might accuse me of conflict of interest. And I've learned to own it, and that it gives context to stories. And being part of this immigrant community allows me to go and find the voices that really make the story what it is, that make it compassionate. I just want to say that I hope that we remember that although I know it's hard to pitch some stories that we care about, that we think will make a lot of impact, I just want to say to remember that it's important to keep doing that. And I hope that whenever we do get some resistance, I hope that we all find the courage and the strength to find our own platforms and still tell those stories like I did. It was terrifying to launch the podcast, but it really felt like someone had to be telling the stories of DACA recipients and how resilient they were. And also, the queer community and the Latino community and the stuff that they're doing in a positive light, not just as a headline when it comes to COVID or violence or anything. I just really wanted to be the one telling the story. And I realized no one's telling them, or no one's telling them as they should be told. And I realized that person had to be me. So I hope that you find the strength and the courage to be that person, to create that content, to tell those stories, and remember that you're not in it alone. You have us. And so thank you.
Okay, we're going to continue with our next recipient, and she's of a handful of Latina materialist journalists in California. Belén de Leon not only delivers the weather from 4 to 7, she uses technology like augmented reality and her storytelling skills to inform about the drought, atmospheric rivers, and Santa Ana wind. She also blends her culture and her 3-time Billboard Latin Award winning voice to deliver all to LA's majority Latino population. Congratulations, Belén.
This is just so humbling. I'm so honored. I wish my abuelitas were alive today so they could see the sacrifice that one day, that their sacrifice, what it would accomplish. So this is for my abuelitas, para ustedes, Evelia, and for Guadalupe. And thank you, CCNMA, for the important work you do to lift up the Latina voices and our stories. So it's an honor to be here, recognized with Celia, with Claudia, Jacqueline, Rebecca, Stephanie, America, Julie, Jeanette, and Nadia. Oh my goodness, what a list. I'm honored to be along it. So next year is going to be 15 years of being a broadcast meteorologist. I love my job. I love giving the weather every day, figuring out the weather pattern and the weather puzzle, really. I get it right more often than not. So that's a good thing. But I think the best part about my job is hearing about our community, getting their emails, their responsive, saying how proud they are and how important it is to have me in this position on TV and to be represented, and how much they like seeing a role model on TV that looks like them for their younger generation. So that, to me, encourages me to keep going and to display my Latinidad, my singing, my dancing, my code switching on TV, and showing that, it pays off to be you, to know who you are and to not be afraid of it. And it's okay. So I'm very grateful to my station, to NBC4, for embracing that and really cultivating an environment where it's important to be who you are. So thank you so much to NBC4, to Macalo Medina, who's always been a big supporter as well, and to my fellow Latina journalists. Your voice is important. Lift it up. Get loud. Si se puede. Onward and upward. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic, Belén. We'll keep watching. I love that weather puzzle. Next is Jacqueline Hurtado, who is a correspondent at CNN in Espanol. Jacqueline has led the COVID coverage for CNN Espanol and kept a vulnerable audience in the loop with facts and fear-breaking truths. She started working in small market local news and moved into the network gig more than 10 years ago. Congratulations, Jacqueline.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be selected as a most influential Latina. I'm grateful to share this with all of you women. It's been hard, especially for people who have children and had to manage during the pandemic. I think we do a lot. But I think during this time, like America said, it's very important, our voice, to tell our stories, especially knowing that the Latino community has been the community that has been most impacted by this pandemic. And I think that they rely on us. I think more than ever, I've realized that their stories are really important. And I'm glad that officials notice that this community can't be ignored, whether it's politically, health-wise. So it was really a challenging year, but it was very important to tell these stories of our community. I want to say thank you to CCNMA, who's always supported me since the beginning. I've been a recipient of CCNMA when I was in college, so it's truly, truly an organization that I love dearly. I couldn't have done it without them. I still think back to the day I won that scholarship and my parents were there with me. And so I want the younger generations to feel inspired. I know journalism is journalists are in a tough position right now, but we have a crucial job to inform our community. And I'm very thankful that, I was selected this year, and I couldn't have done it without the management at CNN Espanol, Cynthia Hudson, for my managers who've given me unconditional support, and also truly the people who work at our desk. They help me day in and day out, get on the air, tell our stories, and also my supervisor, Cresita. I couldn't have done it without her. So I'm truly thankful to be here. I just want to tell the future journalists, you guys can do it. Right now, we're in a crucial time to tell our story, especially as Latina women. I think our voices are so important, and I'm just truly honored to be here celebrating this with you guys. And hopefully, we can continue to tell those important stories that affect our community, whether it be in Spanish news or in English news. Thank you.
Thank you, Tokaya. Really nice words. We're gonna continue with our next winner, and she's Julie Leopo. Julie has captured beautiful images of people during the pandemic year, as well as the predominantly Hispanic neighborhood of Santa Ana, California. Her images were exhibited in Germany Museum and Yale University. She's also the director of photography at the Voice of OC and runs an Instagram where she reaches a large audience who resonate with her images. Congratulations, Julie.
Thank you so much. I'm so nervous, but I'm so happy. This is just really unexpected. I want to really thank CCNMA for just hosting, and I'm so happy to be building community with everyone here. All the nominees, I am so just floored to even be on a list with you. I feel like sometimes my imposter syndrome kicks in and I'm just like, no. Also, the past 2 years, just being a photographer in general, or photojournalist, I was really nervous. I felt like a lot of the times I was holding my breath because I was so scared I was going to get COVID, or, I was covering protests or just different things in Orange County that made me really nervous. But then, I was able to exhale sometimes when, a reader would say, hey, this story was really important, or it touched me, or this coverage was important. And in those moments, I was like, this work is totally worth it. And just being on a list as well makes it worth it as well. So I am so happy to continue doing this work, and just being recognized is an honor. Thank you so much to everyone. And thanks to the newsroom that I'm a part of, Voice of OC. We're a small but mighty newsroom. Thank you.
Next is Nadia Lopez, reporter at the Fresno Bee. Nadia is producing important work covering the Latino, primarily rural communities in the Central Valley, an area with underreported coverage. She is part of the Central Valley News Collaborative, a bilingual collaboration between various newsrooms in the Central Valley. Nadia covers everything from issues affecting California farm workers, such as heat and smoke legislation, to how COVID-19 outbreaks in rural schools impacts Latino families. Congratulations, Nadia.
Hi, thanks so much. It's so awesome to be, among such a diverse cast of different reporters here. And, Latinos, we're not a monolith. We have such diverse experiences, and I'm so happy to be a part of that. And it just feels really, really like an honor to be here today. And I didn't even know I was nominated. so I'm just really grateful.
Thank you, Nadia. We're going to continue with our next winner, and it's Stephanie Mendez. Stephanie is a producer at Good Morning America and a freelancer journalist. She has been elevating the Latinx voices across national print, digital, and broadcast mediums. She takes a look at subcultures and underrepresented artists and does an outstanding job of telling their stories and describing their plight in great detail in the face of a sin-crippling pandemic. She always pushes for Latino representation in the media. Congratulations, Stephanie.
Yay! Started from the bottom, now I'm here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team effing here. I am so excited. It's my first time on this list. Although I've been working in media for a little over 10 years. I started as a punk rock journalist for an online publication called Big Wheel Magazine when I was 18, just covering the music community in LA. And I actually started, I guess, officially or more professionally my career at ABC News in 2013 when I was hired as an intern. And I was able to quickly climb, in the company. Within a year, I was already a producer. And I really lucked out because I grew up with so many obstacles and odds against me. I grew up below the poverty line, single parent household. Both of my parents immigrated here to the U.S. illegally. To use that term. My mom climbed a mountain to get here for a better life, and I'd like to think that I'm a product of success for her to really enable that dream, and her hard work has paid off. I am where I am today because of her hard work, because she raised me, she pushed me, and I just want to take the time, to thank a couple of other people that kind of helped enable that, because again, I somehow ended up here working in mainstream news, mainstream media. First, I want to thank my high school teacher, Mr. Roberts. I was a 16-year-old street punk ditching school, to drink 40-ounce King Cobras in alleys. I almost didn't graduate high school, and I heavily considered dropping out. But my high school teacher at Santa Ana High School, Mr. Roberts, said I had the gift of writing, and he believed in me. And because of him, I don't know if I ever would have realized that was my talent. I also want to thank Scott Schulman, who recently retired after a 40-year career at ABC News. He is the reason why I got hired after my internship at ABC News, why I'm here now at Good Morning America producing, because he made it all happen for me. Another person that believed in me. I also want to thank some of the editors that that have really propelled my writing. Daniel Cohn at Spin, Javier Cabral at LA Taco, Lauren Schur at GMA, Craig Nakano with the LA Times. And I also just lastly want to give a shout out to Julie Liopo and Janet Villafana. The three of us are from Big Bad Santana. So I'm really excited that three of us made it out here. And yeah, thank you guys so much for including me on this list.
Thank you, Stephanie. So we're going to go with our next winner, which, forgive me if I don't pronounce this last name correctly, but probably she has got it many times. Claudia Pescuita.
I knew it was going to be me when you said that. Pescuita.
Claudia has long been a trusted voice of KNX reporting, breaking news for more than a decade. She's been a Dutch reporter, often filling several stories a day as the station in LA City Hall bureau chief. She brings her skepticism to officials and sharp eyes as she reports everything from fires to corruption. She recently joined KPCC as the editor for Daily News. Congratulations, Claudia, and I'm sorry for not pronouncing your last name right.
No problem. Oh man, that was a hard act to follow, the last speech. So mine's a little bit of a downer. I mean, this past year and a half has been so hard for all of us. And I spent much of it covering the pandemic in LA County, and echoing what some of the earlier awardees have said. I mean, it's such a big responsibility in normal times to keep the public informed. And I've never felt that more acutely than in this past year and a half. People were scared. They were desperate for information. I mean, I was getting questions from the public at all hours of the night, questions about vaccines, how to make an appointment, what trends might mean for what was coming in the county. And I did what I could to get people answers and hopefully provide a little relief in such uncertain times. So for my colleagues to recognize me for this work really means a lot to me. And I just want to say thank you to all of you and to the other award winners, and also to all the journalists who are working so hard every day and not being recognized. So often, we hear from people when they have a criticism and we kind of focus on that. It really knocks you down. And we really should spend more time focusing on the people who are building us up and saying thank you for the work that we do. And so this means a lot to all of us. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Claudia. Our next winner is Jeanette Villafana. She is a writer at LA Taco and other places. Jeanette has been influential in raising awareness to the plight of street vendors in Los Angeles. Her work and reporting has impacted public policy at the city council level to bring awareness, protection, and paths to success for street vendors. And if you look at her most recent LA Taco stories, you'll see that she's been all over Southern California, Boyle Heights, and yes, Santa Ana. Jeanette has done an excellent job at covering stories for LA Taco and giving them the exposure they deserve about injustice. Congratulations, Jeanette.
Thank you so much. I had a speech and it kind of just went away, but okay, I just first want to say thank you so much to CCNMA for recognizing all of these amazing Latinas, all of you who I admire their work, and to be included in the list, I literally told, as I'm sitting here, I can't believe it. So thank you so much. Thank you for recognizing the work of everyone. And thank you for recognizing the reporting as well. In my case, with street vendors, it's been a pleasure getting to know street vendors. I also want to say, it's something that isn't often covered, at least in-depthly, like the ups and downs and loopholes and everything that street vendors have to navigate on a daily basis. But it's been a pleasure. And also I want to say muchas gracias a los vendedores ambulantes de Los Angeles, because it's for sure my reporting would not be as impactful as it is without their voices, without their stories. So just a huge thank you to all street vendors for lending me your voice. And of course, thank you to LA Taco for providing me the platform to be able to write these stories that are very impactful and matter a lot to the community. It's just an honor, really. It's an honor to be on this list with all of you, with my Santaneras as well. It's just a pleasure. I'm emotional, I'm happy, and yeah, I'm on cloud nine. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So here we go to the best part. Our next award honors this journalist that we call Emerging Latina Journalist on the Rise Award. It goes to a journalist that shows great potential, ambition, and drive. This year recipient is, are you ready? Nadia Lopez from the Fresno Bee. Nadia's stories are unique, insightful, and put a face and voice to the major policy and social changes that face California's Central Valley Latino community. Nadia, congratulations, and you have a moment to say a few words.
Oh my gosh, wow. I'm already feeling super grateful that I'm even included on this list, and now I don't even know what to say. Thank you so much. I really feel like with the work that I've been doing, there's so many more stories to tell, especially in the Central Valley. So many voices have been ignored for a really long time. So I'm happy to be amplifying the voices of the community and to be a part of that on a larger scale. So just thank you so much. I'm incredibly grateful.
Thank you. And now to our big award, the Latina Journalist of the Year. And the award goes to current KPCC LAist reporter and former KNX reporter, Claudia Pisciuta. Claudia has been a bulldog reporter for several years in Southern California, but this past year, through the pandemic, she worked relentlessly to deliver the news about the virus, the vaccines, and the political tension attached. And she's not selfish. She often helps her competitors, pushing hard for their questions to get answered at press conferences. That's a big deal, I think. And when the pandemic hit, we all saw her shine. She was often filing several stories a day and became a fixture at public health briefings, and her Twitter feed became a must follow for those who were watching developments, as we all were. And congratulations, Claudia. You are our Latina journalist of the year.
Oh, thank you so much. I literally got chills, and I'm like trying not to cry right now because I mean, it was hard. It was hard. And it's so nice to be recognized. I mean, there were days where I literally just like took a break and laid down on the floor of my bedroom for a few minutes because it was so much, you know, it was just COVID all the time. And if I did anything to like help make things a little bit better in this year, I'm happy for that. And thank you so much for this recognition. It really means a lot to me.
Thank you everyone. That has been amazing today, and all of you are winners. And like we said, not just the ones that are here, but also the ones that are watching or that will be watching this award ceremony in the future. And we are glad that your work is representing Latinas in journalism.
Thanks all of you for your words and your work. We're so thrilled to have you with us. And for those of you watching, don't forget to join us at 1 p.m. for a discussion on mental health and coping with the stresses of COVID while gathering stories, and with the pressures of trying to find your place in news organizations facing racial and gender reckonings. We'll see you soon, and congratulations again to all our winners. Thank you.